That's right, I'm finally in my Chewy Dog gaming arc. People have asked me to play all sorts of games on this channel. Garfield Kart was not one of them. You know, I could have played a good game like Plants vs. Zombies, or a game that gets a lot of views, like Plants vs. Zombies, so why am I wasting my time grinding out a 100% completion on Garfield Kart? Boom, Garfield. Boom, Garfield. Boom, Fargield. All you fake Garf heads think you're the real deal? I've been Garf-pilled field maxing since before you were even an Odie-cell Nermjack. I got all these images off the internet. Garfield Kart Furious Racing was released November 2019 for both PC and consoles. Of all games, that warranted an early PC release. Believe it or not, but this is actually the second Garfield Kart that's been made, with the first Garfield Kart in 2013. Damn! The reason I'm skipping the original Garfield Kart and going right for the sequel is, this game is not a sequel. Garfield, what are you trying to pull on your fans, you sneaky feline? This is the exact same game, just with redone graphics. It's a remake, which is honestly kinda hilarious, because after only 6 years, the Garfield fans were so ravenous that they needed a remake of Garfield Kart. Garfield Kart. Now riddle me this, how come these so-called game critics slammed Garfield Kart, yet on Steam, the Garfield gamers gave this a 9 out of 10? Someone is lying here. With a name like Garfield Kart, would you believe me if I told you this game maybe plays a little bit like that small indie series Mario Kart, but Garfieldified? Mario boosts with mushrooms. Garfield boosts with lasagna. $18, man, they were just giving this game away. This is gonna be a longer video than what I usually do, so feel free to throw this one on while you study or sleep or eat. I will be playing Garfield Kart until I fully 100% the game. That means collecting every collectible and unlocking every Steam achievement. I went into this thinking, surely, Garfield Kart can't take that long to 100%, right? Surely, there won't be any stupid achievements that demand the world from you in a game that barely functions and wears you down slowly, but you already put like 10 hours in, so you gotta commit to the end. Please save me, do not play Garfield Kart, worst mistake of my life. Aw man, what a cute little home screen. This is the garage, and wow, look at that. All my favorite Garfield characters in one place. Garfield, Odie, Nermal, Harry. Ugh, he looks like a DeviantArt Garfield OC. Liz, the love of John's life, so she must be happy, right? What the fuck are you implying? What's with the hesitation? After picking a cart and a character, we get to pick a hat and a spoiler, both of which are not only fun cosmetic changes, but also give us different stat boosts or additional bonuses. And man, am I excited to have to unlock every single one. You know what, no matter what shit I give Garfield Kart in this video, being able to put hats on your dudes is pretty cool. Nice job, team. The other menu we gotta keep our eye on for my 100% is the gallery. In each track, there are 3 hidden puzzle pieces, and collecting all of them will unlock a new art piece to look at. Man, I wonder who this one could be. Therefore, I'm gonna have to hunt down every last one, and man, some of them were complete bullshit, but we'll get to that later. You ever wondered if you're the only person in the entire world playing Garfield Kart? I want to see if I can get just one person in an online match. Oh my god. It's the final boss of Garfield Kart. Nobody even plays this game. Does he just sit in matchmaking every day waiting for an opponent to finally arrive? Nah, that'd be pretty funny though. Before my 100% challenge began, I decided to stream Garfield Kart, and I was getting stream sniped on Garfield Kart. Hey, what? I am not a big streamer, nor did I announce prior that I was gonna be streaming Garfield Kart. Yet I had Garfield Kart Gaming in my Twitch chat, Backseat Gaming, giving me pro tips on how to get good at Garfield Kart, such as how to effectively use items. Just like all the good kart racers, racing is only half the battle. The other half is using items. Garfield Kart has all the items you'd expect from a Mario Kart clone, but in some cases, I actually think Garfield Kart did items better than Mario Kart. Case in point, the spring. When I first got the spring, I thought this was the stupidest item on the planet. It's a blatant copy of the feather. You know, the pointless item that makes you jump that was only ever in the first Mario Kart before Nintendo realized, alright, this fucking sucks. And so it got axed from the series only to bring it back 25 years later so they can go, whoa guys, remember the feather? Hell yeah, nostalgia! And then it was completely pointless yet again, showing Nintendo never learns. So, yeah, when I first got the spring in Garfield Kart, I thought that was pretty funny. But not only did Garfield Kart make more use out of this item than Mario Kart ever did with the feather, they actually made it one of the coolest items in the entire game. You can use it to dodge red shells, you can place it behind you on the track as a banana, and you can use it to access so many shortcuts you wouldn't reach otherwise. For example, in Spooky Manor, you can use a spring to get up onto this shortcut, and there's even a puzzle piece here. Pies double up as both shells and bananas, offering players a bit more choice when you get them. And there actually is one item that isn't ripped from Mario Kart, the magic wand, which when used shoots a projectile that'll swap your place with the target. It's actually a really cool item, but the only problem with it is that since it doesn't make any kind of sound, sometimes you'll just be driving and then you'll get randomly teleported somewhere else on the track, and that's pretty disorienting. They even improved on the iconic blue shell with the UFO item. Once used, the UFOs fly up the track past the racer in first place and start doing this. If you drive under any of the UFOs while they're shining a red light, you get picked up and you get sucked for a few seconds, whereas driving under a green lit UFO is safe. It fills the same niche as the blue shell, bringing down the player in first place, but the UFOs offer a semi-reliable counterplay that doesn't rely on items. If you get hit by a blue shell in Mario Kart, you just got unlucky. If you get caught by the UFOs in Garfield Kart, man, that's a skill issue. Oh my god, look! They even have the Spooky Skull Diamond! That's my favorite Garfield reference. It's just a bob-omb. The Garfield wiki says this is supposed to be a reference to the Clopman Diamond from the old Garfield cartoons, but they don't even look alike. Why is this a Garfield Kart item? Now that my training with the famous Garfield Kart gaming is finished, it was time for me to tackle the Grand Prix. Base Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has 12 cups. With DLC, it gets bumped up to 24 cups. Garfield Kart has 4. It's $18, I can't complain. I decided before I was gonna go unlock hunting, I might as well play through all the Grand Prix on all 4 cups, starting with the Lasagna Cup. And the first track of that is Cats in the Hood. Fun fact, the original name for this track was Garfield in the Ghettos. It's a pretty standard starter course. The Mario Circuit of Garfield Kart. It's also the most Garfield-esque course, if that makes any sense. You know, he's a cat. He hangs around the American suburbs. There's no way John is affording any of these houses as a bachelor artist. This map has 2 interesting parts. The first being a split path with one going through a muddy zone, and the second being a shortcut hidden behind a bunch of pylons you'll have to jump over for. This is one of the best shortcuts in the game. It saves so much time. The next track is Crazy Dunes, a very basic desert level. This one is kinda lame. They could have used the desert theme to create some cool mechanics like the rising sand and dry ruins, but they just forgot to make it fun. For some reason, the sleepy pillow was fucking rampant on this track. I got put to bed like 5 times in one race, like god damn. Me when she doesn't want to watch W Speed compilation on YouTube. There's nothing for me to talk about with this course. It's just a road in a desert. John, you cuck. The fuck does this have to do with Garfield? Pale Rock Lakes, though. Maybe the Stockholm Syndrome is starting to kick in, but this track is actually not bad. Around halfway through the track, it gets split off into two paths, one of which is more narrow but littered with boost panels. On higher CCs, you get sent flying. It's not much, but the bar has been set so low that I was genuinely blown away by this. These tracks are so barren, just having anything is enough to wow me. You know, maybe I've been too harsh on Garfield Kart. Maybe from now on this track is boring as heck. Nothing happens. Dragon Kart has better course design. Now's a good time to mention that it's not just the tracks that suck, but everything sucks. The speed, the turning, the gravity, the bouncing, the animations, it all just feels bad. Like, look at this jump. Look how long I spend in the air. This game feels so floaty. It's like I'm always at risk of being whisked away in the wind. And if that's not bad enough, sometimes the game just fucking kills you for no good reason. Like, what happened? Oh, did poor Harry hit his head too hard that he fucking died?
It's actually became a famous clip once because it's John's boss. What?
You know the little starting boost you can get at the beginning of every Mario Kart race? Garfield Kart has that too, but there's like no sound or animation. Like, I don't know, it's not a big deal, but it just kind of shows the devs really didn't care. If I only had to play these tracks once, I probably wouldn't be yapping so much about how lame they are. But I know to get my 100%, I'm gonna be having to play these tracks over and over and over. And if I already think they're mind-numbingly boring, I'm scared to think how I'll feel 15 hours from now. But, you know what? First cups aren't usually that interesting, even in Mario Kart. They exist to ease you in and teach you the mechanics before ramping up with much more cooler and harder tracks. So let's see if Garfield Kart improves in the Pizza Cup. Pizza Cup begins with this Moo Moo Meadows wannabe track called Country Bumpkin. Okay, I am really starting to notice that none of these tracks have any interesting attributes. They're all just road in a new place. The themes are the only thing that change, but they don't even contribute to the track's design. All the themes are interchangeable with one another. If Country Bumpkin took place in the Tibetan mountains, would the track actually change? Oh, well, Mario Kart is no better. All their tracks are just road. Yeah, maybe in 1992. It's 2024, we got standards now, damn it. Let's do a thought experiment. Compare this track to Moo Moo Meadows. Both are farm tracks, but Moo Moo Meadows actually incorporates the idea of having a race on a farm by having farm-like mechanics such as cows that gradually wander onto the track as an obstacle. As far as Mario Kart track gimmicks go, the Moo Moo Meadow cows aren't much, but it's like 1,000 times more than what these tracks have. Right after the race ends, I can't even remember what I just played on. They all just blend together into one long memory of road. Garfield, I love you like a brother, man. You can't keep doing this to me. Thankfully, the next track is called Spooky Manor, which means we're finally gonna get a nice change of pace from road. Wait a minute. It's just fucking road again! These track names don't make any goddamn sense. Instead of Spooky Manor, it should just be named Dirt Road. But I guess if they did that, then every freaking track in this game would be named Dirt Road. Do you want to know why this track is called Spooky Manor? Look at this. Did you catch it? All the way up there. That's your Spooky Manor. $17, ladies and gentlemen. I like the shortcuts on this map. They're clearly visible, but need a spring to access. Mally Mart is okay. It's got Spooky Manor Syndrome, where they named the map after a building that would have been cool to explore, but whatever, road is fine, I guess. There's more good spring shortcuts, but this track highlighted my biggest issue with the shortcuts in this game. The out of bounds zone, where your cart gets respawned, doesn't make any sense. Why am I allowed to use the spring to jump over this out of bounds zone, but just cutting the corner slightly on this one instantly kills me? I would have made the jump if you didn't interfere. If you're gonna go all in with the spring, let me go all in. Whatever, I'm over caring about stuff like this. Finally, we end the Pizza Cup with another desert track. But you know what? This is probably the best of the bunch. Valley of the Kings, that's a hard-ass name, by the way. It actually made use of the desert theme with you driving through a big pyramid with giant Garfield statues. That's about it. It's kinda cool. Overall, Pizza Cup was slightly better than the Lasagna Cup. By now, you're probably getting the general gist of the tracks in this game, which is road. So I'm gonna start going through these a little bit faster. Burger Cup begins with Misty for Me. The funniest part of this map is that the music is just the intro theme that plays at the beginning of every episode of the Garfield show. But that theme is only like 30 seconds or so they just loop it for the entire race. It doesn't even fit the vibe of the map. It's hilarious. Hey, Editor Dog 1 here. I did a bit more digging and it turns out the entire game soundtrack was just ripped from the Garfield show, so they really had no shame making this game. Hey look, every time you take this turn you can see the boost panels render in. That's kinda funny. The next track is Sneak a Peek. Okay, now I know these names have nothing to do with the tracks. Visually, this one is kinda neat. It starts off in a grassy area and then transitions into a snowy area. I do genuinely think these courses are getting somewhat more interesting in these later cups. The turns are sharper with more obstacles in the way, which makes sense. The first cup is Baby Time for Thumb-Sucking Toddlers, so of course the tracks are gonna be simple. But these later tracks are for true gamers, so the developers are able to go all out. And by all out, I mean put a jump. Hey look, they forgot to give collision to this entire hill. That's neat. Blazing Oasis is another frickin' desert track. Dude, what is the relation between Garfield and desert? I have never once seen this kitty cat in the desert. What is this revisionist history? It's boring. I'm already not too fond of desert levels in games. Pasta Cosi Factory is, dare I say, the greatest track in all of Garfield Kart. Maybe even all of Nah. For once in our lives, we're able to drive indoors through a factory, and this one section in particular has pretty cool visuals. It's also got some really great spring shortcuts that feel really good to pull off. If this course was in Mario Kart 8, it would still be one of the shitty courses nobody wants to play, but, you know, quality-wise, I could see a track like this making it into a Mario Kart game. The only issue with Pasta Cosi Factory is now I know that Garfield Kart is capable of making good tracks, they just choose not to. Burger Cup is the new best cup. Blazing Oasis was pretty lame doo-doo fart, but it does seem like each track is getting progressively better than the last. If Pasta Cosi Factory is a sign of what's to come, perhaps the Ice Cream Cup might actually be Garfield Kart's magnum opus. Like this video is my magnum opus. Did I ask you to subscribe yet? Can you please do that? Ice Cream Cup begins with Mysterious Temple. You know, after every race, I take notes of each track so that later when I'm writing this script, I'll have an easier time. Usually my note-taking is pretty extensive, but well, this is all I wrote for Mysterious Temple, so I think you get the picture. Prohibited Site. This one is boring. It's like a construction site. Again, what do any of these tracks have to do with Garfield? I'm more likely to run into Majima than Nermal. Actually, yeah. In Mario Kart, a lot of the tracks are named after characters, and that gives the tracks a lot more personality. What if Wario Stadium was just called Stadium? It would be lame. Garfield Kart doesn't do that for any of these tracks. You know, maybe I wouldn't have such a problem with Spooky Manor if it was called Lyman's Spooky Manor, and there's like a big statue of him. At least then it's like related to Garfield. The road texture here looks like shit. That's all I have to say about this track. Casco Park is actually pretty cool because they decided to try something different. This track is a skate park and they make use of the theme by littering the map with all sorts of ramps and half pipes and whatnot. I'm a bit of a skater, I like that. This track is like Excite Bike Arena, except not as exciting. Nonetheless, this track is alright. Bro, it happened again. Why would you put a puzzle piece there if it kills you if you try to grab it? Game Design 101, I paid $17 for this. The final track of Garfield Kart is Loopy Lagoon. This one, is decent. Again, this track highlights the best part of this game, the spring, because you can do some pretty cool shortcuts with it on this map. Like, look at that. That takes skill. I'm a gamer. Or if you don't want to use a spring, you can just drive to the right and skip a whole chunk of the track. Okay, and with that, I have played every Garfield Kart track. There were some decent ones here and there, but overall, they're kinda lame. But I mean, I'm playing Garfield Kart, so I kinda expected that might be the case. But like, come on, even I could design a better track. Look at this. Chewy Dog Park. So we start here, and then we go around, and oh my. By beating all the Grand Prix on all 4 cups, you'll unlock all the spoilers for your vehicles. But not me, because apparently I suck at Garfield Kart so much, I have to replay the Lasagna Cup because I didn't do well enough to get the unlocks. Joy. While replaying the Lasagna Cup, I figured I might as well also pick up any puzzle pieces I missed because, well, I'm gonna need them later anyways. But I'm looking at some of those puzzle pieces and I'm like, how the hell am I gonna get that? You know what, that's a problem for future me to solve. Boom, done. Got all my spoilers and the sexy Steam achievement to go along with it. As I said before, each spoiler gives a different buff to your kart stats. And now that I have all the spoilers, I could theoretically use math and science to engineer the perfect kart combo for the rest of my time with this game. But it's Garfield Kart. I don't really care about min-maxing for the meta. I'm just gonna pick whatever. Now it's time to get all the silly little hats. Like the spoilers, each hat gives a unique buff to your kart. The difference being while spoilers buff your stats, the hats give unique benefits to a specific item, like Odie's football helmet increasing the boost you get from Lasagna. To unlock the hats, I have to either beat every track on time trial getting at least a bronze medal, or getting first place in the single race mode on every track. Time trial is a solo race where you play with yourself and work on getting the fastest time possible. There's no items, no opponents, or even puzzle pieces. Combine all that with the lame track design, and it feels like I'm playing on that Infinite Highway custom map for Mario Kart Wii. Did I mention this game is maybe a little bit buggy? I almost lost on Crazy Dunes because of shit like this. And then on Pale Rock, I won by mere milliseconds. I'm gonna be dead by 40, and this game is the culprit. After 2 close calls and 1 more call to my cardiologist, I decided I'd rather just play single race mode for all my hats, which is just Grand Prix without the Grand Prix. But at least this way I can collect more leftover puzzle pieces.
Why?
While fiddling around with my kart setup, I accidentally stumbled upon the most overpowered mechanic in this game: perfect combos. Each character has a secret perfect combo with a specific kart, hat, and spoiler, and using all of them at once gives your character a huge boost in stats. Geez, no wonder this game was kicking my ass earlier. I'm pretty sure they balanced 150cc around these perfect combos because this made the rest of the single races an absolute breeze. The AI just cannot compete. Look how much further ahead on the track I am than everyone else. Die, Garfield. With the final track complete, I unlocked the bunny band headgear, got my epic Steam achievement for collecting all the hats, and now I have a full garage with every hat and spoiler available to me. Some of the hats are really good and might be necessary for some of the harder to get puzzle pieces. The bunny band gives up to 3 extra uses of the springs, which is crazy. But wait, what does it mean by up to 3? Oh my god. Oh my... Okay, so apparently, each hat and spoiler have 3 tiers: a bronze, silver, and gold variant. I unlocked the bronze variant of every spoiler and hat. Had I known that beforehand, I would have just skipped the first 2 tiers and went straight to unlocking the gold tier items. I prayed. I got on my hands and my knees and I prayed that these bronze variants count for a 100% completion. So I checked the Steam achievements, and there they were. An achievement for unlocking every gold hat, and 1 for unlocking every gold spoiler. Dude, this was such a punch to the gut. I thought I was almost done with this game, but nope. I considered just not doing this, dropping the video entirely to go work on something else. I was unsure if Garfield Kart was worth it. Nobody even cares about Garfield Kart. This video is gonna get like 2 views. Why am I doing this to myself? But I can't. I can't quit. When life gets tough and it feels like the whole universe is beating down on you, you can't just quit, because then a quitter is all you'll ever be. You have to stand back up and try again, because that's the only way you win at life. Yeah, I know I'm talking about Garfield Kart. You know, a like and a subscribe would really soothe the pain right about now. I figured this would only take maybe another couple hours tops, but little did I know, I have yet to encounter the full wrath of Garfield Kart's bullshit. The first thing I have to do is beat all the Grand Prix on 150cc, the hardest difficulty. This time I'm playing as Liz with her exclusive bunny hood hat. The hat gives me extra uses on my springs, which helps a ton for a couple of the harder puzzle pieces. The first thing I noticed about 150cc is that it's way harder! In Mario Kart, 150cc is baby mode. I could beat it with my eyes closed. 150cc in Garfield Kart is like playing Sekiro on Steel Soul mode while taking sniper shots to the It's tough. In 50cc, as long as I was holding forward, I was basically guaranteed the win. But on 150cc, Garf is making me work for it. 150cc in Garfield Kart is harder than 200cc in Mario Kart. But you know what? I'm actually having a lot more fun this way. 50cc was such a snooze fest, I felt like an iPad kid on those tracks. I wasn't getting enough stimulation. But to win on 150cc, I gotta lock in, if you know what I'm saying. And I welcome the challenge. Thankfully, I don't have to win every single race. All that matters is that I have the highest total score at the end of the Grand Prix. So let's begin. The tracks are so much more chaotic with the higher speed. It feels like they did not design these maps with 150cc in mind. You get bounced and thrown all over the darn place. Look, even the AI doesn't know how to race on 150cc. Harry got stuck on Mart and he couldn't figure out how to progress. Poor bastard was stuck there the entire race. It took many tries. I got my ass handed to me on Hamburger Cup. Nermal is fucking cracked at Garfield Kart. But through perseverance and sheer radical epic gamer skills, I did it. I got first place on every cup in 150cc. But, I didn't get my spoilers. Oh no. Oh my god. No! Okay. So apparently, to get the spoilers, you need to get first place in every single race during a Grand Prix. Getting first place for the cup is not good enough. You need to flawlessly win it, which is pretty freaking hard since, like I said before, Nermal is cracked. This one Steam guide says you can get 100% in like 8 hours. Garfield, please cut me a break, man. So I grinded my ass off, race after race, attempt after attempt. Sometimes I'd get first place in the first couple of races, only to get second in the final race, and I have to restart the entire cup. I did my research. I looked up the meta combinations of characters, carts, hats, spoilers, anything to give me the best chances of winning. And you see, that was hard because, believe it or not, but Garfield Kart doesn't have the largest competitive community. There's not a lot of data out there. I settled on Odie with his football combination for the insanely high top speed stat, and it was going great. After making the switch, I breezed through the first 2 tracks in the Lasagna Cup. But then this happened.
Oh my god, bro.
Like, what happened here? In what world does the game spawn you in freaking backwards? I tried my hardest to catch up, but I just couldn't, and the run was killed. Do you now see why this game ticks me off so much? But after God only knows how many hours of grinding the same races over and over, I finally did it. I beat the first cup, the easiest cup on 150cc, and lucky me, I got my first 2 gold spoilers. After all the torment, just to get 2 gold spoilers, I had to take a long think about my life. I took a long walk, reflecting on my life choices, wondering how I ended up here, deciding if I should even continue. But mama didn't raise no quitter. After bashing my head in on Pizza Cup for a bit, I decided to try more of the single races. After Spooky Manor, I got the gold version of Odie's football helmet, which increases the boost I'll get from Lasagna. But look how good I'm getting at this game. Take a look at this shortcut. Wow. Damn, that felt good. After some more epic gamer high skill shortcuts taken on Loopy Lagoon, I finally finished every course and got the gold version of every hat. At this point, I've collected most of the puzzle pieces without even going out of my way to find them. Some of them are hidden pretty well, but when I'm forced to play the same courses over and over, there's only so many places you can hide them. Surely I'll hold on to that sentiment for the rest of the video and won't have a complete breakdown over one single puzzle piece. No, of course not. After that short detour, it's time to go back to grinding out those gold spoilers. Aw, come on, that would have been a perfect place to hide the final puzzle piece. Go! Yes! I am a god at this game! Dude, look how good I'm getting at this game. Look at the gap between me and Garfield in second place. I did it. I freaking did it. I conquered my skill issue and completed a perfect run on every cup on Garfield Kart on the hardest difficulty. Bye-bye! And finally, I got all my sweet, sweet golden spoilers. Now, there's only 2 more achievements in my way before getting my well-deserved 100%. First is collecting all the puzzle pieces, and second is using all the special cart, hat, and spoiler combinations like the one I've been using for Odie. As for the puzzle pieces, there's only a couple left that I haven't been able to nab. 1 on Mally Market and 2 on Sneak a Peek. On Mally Market, the final piece is in these bushes near the finish line. How did I never see this? Also, the balloons are made of concrete. The first missing puzzle piece on Sneak a Peek is this one way up in the air. Using my impressive deduction skills, I deduced to get it, I'd have to use a spring up on this cliff and catch it on the way down. Poop. Poop! Damn it, I swear to God. First try, baby, let's go! The last puzzle piece was pretty hard to find, but I eventually found it up in these trees here. Why are the puzzle pieces just so much harder on this one track? This one was really hard to get. The hardest in the whole game. So much so that after 30 minutes of trying over and over, I caved and looked it up. Sneak a Peek, hard to get puzzle piece. Okay, so I'm not alone here, thank God. Finally, with the help of this one guy, I collected the final puzzle piece. My reward is this entire gallery filled with Garfield renders, fully unlocked for me to rub my eyeballs over. Look, I'm no graphic designer, but even I can tell they did not try with these. Look at this one. The chair is not even on the ground, it's floating. They just pasted this chair PNG on top of a blurry beach background drawing. They didn't even get the blur right, the clouds were left unblurred, it looks weird. In this one, they horizontally crunched the photo in the back to fit it all into the image. But that doesn't even make sense, we're only seeing half of the monitor screen. Shouldn't we also be looking at half of the image? These, like most of the game, seem to pull from the official Garfield show. Like, I swear this render was just ripped from the show. You ain't slick. Get those toes off my screen. What the hell, is that the Simpsons house? The final achievement was to use the perfect combo for every character, which just means I fiddle around with every character until I see that combo bonus and load in, quit, rinse and repeat. And there we go. With that, I have now officially 100%ed Garfield Kart. Am I satisfied? Yeah, I'd say I am. For the rest of my life, I can confidently tell people I am a Garfield Kart completionist. This is the first time I've ever done a video like this, and I'm not gonna lie, it was a lot of fun. I would love to try doing another video like this. But you know, only if you guys also enjoyed it. So leave a like before you go. And if this video gets enough likes, I'll do it again. Maybe I'll play a good game for once. Or maybe I'll torture myself and play Mort the Chicken for the PS1.